For your self-foldable, you're going to need some supplies before you get started. First, make sure you have a glue stick. You'll need a ruler, scissors, index cards, a binder clip, white piece of paper, two pages that have the organelles on them, laboratory and microscope worksheet, page that has a plant cell and an animal cell, a Venn diagram, and two manila envelopes. We're actually going to start with the manila envelopes first. So what I need to do is cut off these tabs. So to do that, I'm going to take my ruler, and I want as much of the manila envelope as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line, and it looks like if I go to 20 millimeters down here, that's going to, and actually I could probably go to 20.3 centimeters. Sorry, not millimeters. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my writing utensil, which you're going to need as well, and I'm going to make some marks. And we're going to connect them. Okay. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut along the line I just made. And I want to do the front and the back, so I'm just going to cut them together. And be careful when you cut it to hold the sides, otherwise they like to become askew, and then you will have two different sizes. Okay, throw this in the garbage. But what I do to one, I have to do to the other. So actually, I'm going to use this one as my guide. And I'm just going to use it as my straight edge. Oops. There you go. Put it to the side. And then I'm just going to cut like I did with the first one. Put that in my garbage pile. Alright. With this one that I just cut, I'm going to create a trifold. So I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to fold each edge to the center. And this is really important that you cut your line straight, otherwise you're going to have some problems. There's one. What I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other. This is going to be the foundation for my self foldable. Now with this one, I've tried it in the past where I did a tri-fold and then stuck it in, but what happens is in the middle I get a little bubble. So the best thing to do is to take your second one that you haven't folded and actually cut it in half. And so I'm more of a ripper kind of person, so I'm going to just make sure that I break down these fibers, and then that way I can just rip it. And then what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to trim off my little oops first. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to fold it in half. And again, I want to get it as close to perfect as possible, because otherwise I'm going to have issues with my book when I open and close it. Okay, there's one side. And we're going, we can do this. Sometimes another pair of hands will help, so you can always use your table partner, because manila folders are a little stiffer than regular paper, which is why we're using it, because we want something that's going to be durable. So what I'm going to do next is get the stapler I forgot to tell you that you would also need. And I'm going to put these in here. Okay. And then, so right now we've opened it. Got 1, 2. I'm stapling the top and the bottom here. And you just need 1 staple. 1. 2. And then do the same thing to the other side. And we'll be covering up these staples, so don't worry about them right now. There goes the glue stick. And 2. Alright. So now what I have, got 1, I've got 2, 1 and 2. Alright, so we're going to start with the cover. For the cover, we want a nice big title. And then down here, you're gonna write your name. And you're gonna tell me what period you're in. So remember, this is your name, not Miss Bird. We're gonna start from the top end. So now you're going to need this page. Now, if you don't like your handwriting for whatever reason, you can actually cut these out and use them. Otherwise, you can write plant cell, animal cell yourself. The choice is yours. So I'm going to cut these two out. And you don't have to cut on the line. In fact, I recommend that you don't cut on the line, just because you might accidentally cut off the cell wall or the cell membrane. And for plant and animal cells, those are really important. You don't want to cut them off. So there's my plant cell. There's my animal cell. I'm going to use the titles. Alright. I always recommend gluing the item and not just gluing on the cell foldable. Be liberal. Now, I prefer stick glue over glue bottles, just because one, they glue down faster, and two, they're less of a mess. However, I think the sticking power in a bottle is better than in a glue stick. So if you are having problems with your glue sticks not keeping your papers down, please use the glue bottles, liquid glue. Alright, so on one side you're going to put a plant cell, the other side you're going to put an animal cell. You can put the plant or animal cell on the right or left, it's your choice. And you don't have to stick them on straight if you don't want to. Again, it's your choice. But it's not your choice which side the animal cell or plant cell goes on. If you put the animal cell on the left side, then the title has to be on the left side. If you put it on the right side, then it has to go on the right side. Now, your title can go on the top or the bottom. It's up to you. This is one way that you can personalize your book. And then what you're going to be doing, as we talk about the different organelles, you're going to be coloring in these organelles. So when we have both of these cells completely colored in, that's when you know you're going to have your test. Okay? So we're not going to be coloring these yet. Today we're just putting together the book. Alright, on the inside, you're going to be taking these two pieces of paper. The one that says cell structure, example, function, and cell type is going to go on the left. And the other one, where it starts with endoplasmic reticulum, is going to go on the right. Now you know that if we don't cut these, they're not going to fit. You can see that they're overlapping. So we do have to cut around here. And on this one, I do recommend that you cut as close to the line as possible. that in the garbage. All right. Now, on this one, this is one where I do recommend that you actually glue both the manila and this. But first, we're going to give this a title. And we're going to call this Organelles. Okay. The reason why I recommend that you glue both the manila and the paper is just because whenever you have something that has a lot of surface area, like this page does, the glue tends to dry pretty fast. I still wouldn't recommend bottle glue because it's hard to write on it and it creates bubbles. So I still don't recommend that. And really, I'm going to put most of my glue in the middle. However, like I said, if it's not sticking, then reinforce it with bottle glue. Okay, glue sticks and friction go hand in hand. So we'll really make sure that this is down. And then do yourself a favor and fold it. Alright, so there are 3 websites on Google Classroom where you can find the function of each of these organelles, and you can find out if it belongs to a plant cell, an animal cell, or if this organelle can be found in both cells. So in here you'd either write animal, plant, or both. So for example, cell membrane, you're going to be putting both, but for cytoskeleton, you'll only be putting animal because cytoskeleton is only found in an animal cell, and cell wall, you'd be putting plant because you only find cell walls in plant cells, not in animal cells. Alright, then I'm going to do the same over here. Put that right side up. I was like, wait a second, that's how I did it last time. Alright, now for the inside. What you can do is get that Venn diagram, and it's going to go in the middle. So again, the paper's too big, so we got to size it. A lot of students cut these out. Don't cut them out. And don't cut them so close that you can't write on them. Alright, now if you cut it where it fits that way, that's fine. but I didn't. So plus I also want to cover up that. So I'm actually going to put it like this. Okay. And then for your first subject, you're going to put plants. And your second subject, you're going to put animals. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to take all of those organelles that were the same in both plants and animals, you're going to stick that in here. Now, there's a lot more that go in here than on these two, so you're going to need to make sure that you write small enough that all of those organelles can fit. And then like cell wall, only found in plant cells, so you're going to write cell wall here. And then like this, I said about the cytoskeleton, it's only found in animal cells, so you'd write cytoskeleton here. Alright, so on the left side, you're going to write your title of, or your heading, vocabulary. Okay, now for this book there is 11 vocabulary words. So what you're going to do is you're going to get 11 note cards, and you're going to actually turn these into flashcards so that you can study. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I've got my 11 note cards that I'm going to be using for my vocabulary words. I'm going to take them, and that binder clip that I needed, I'm going to put a binder clip on it. This way, I've got the vocabulary words, and they're in flashcards, so that way I can study for them, study for the test. Then underneath that, I've got another title, which is Cell Scientists. So these are the early cell explorers, and we're going to be talking about 5 of them. We're going to be talking about Robert Hooke, Antoine von Leeuwenhoek, Theodor Schwann, Matthias Schleiden, and Rudolf Virchow. And for that, we're going to create a flip book. So what you're going to need is a piece of white paper, and you're going to need to put it into fours. So 1 fold, 2 folds, okay, so I'm going to put this underneath here, and mine's a little long, so I'm just going to make a note that I want to cut there, and I want to cut down here at the bottom so that it fits. Okay. And actually, when I do that, I want it to be this way. So I want to be cutting off my folds. So I actually want to do it this way, where I'm cutting it here and here. That way I won't have those folds, and I'll have 4 loose pieces of paper, which is what I want. So So by cutting where the corners, where my folds are, I lose those folds, and now I have 4 pieces of paper. So I'm going to take those 4 pieces of paper and I'm going to staple them. And I want to staple it close to the top. Then I'm going to take a piece of tape. And I'm going to tape it. Okay. So the first scientist that we're going to be talking about is Robert Hooke. So the next one will be for Antoine von Leeuwenhoek. Then we'll have Matthias Schleiden and Theodore Swan. And then our last one, well, right here, and it's Rudolf Virchow. So that way we have plenty of room to write the who, what, when, why, how. Who, what, when, why, and where for each of these scientists, the 5 W's. On this side, we're going to label this cell theory. And for that, again, we're going to need our ruler. And we're just going to draw a box. So let's go from, let's make it 9 centimeters by 9. We'll do it 9 by 9. Okay. Which means every 3 centimeters I'm going to draw a mark. Draw a line across. Then I'm going to go, doesn't need to be big on the left, so we're going to go here. All right, there are 3 theories that make up cell theory. So you're going to number 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to write what the 3 theories are that make up cell theory. All right. Then the last part, you're going to need an envelope. And again, you can see the envelope is bigger than, or longer I should say, than the space that we have. So we'll be doing some folding. But on this one, you're gonna, this title is Microscopes and Lab Equipment. Okay, then I'm going to get another piece of tape. I want to make sure I don't tape the flap of the envelope. Okay, and I'm probably going to get another piece of tape But another thing that I can do, because I know this bottom half isn't going to be moving, I can take this and I can glue it down. So that way it has a better chance of not leaving on its own volition. Alright, so then you have those 2 sheets left. You've got microscopes and you have lab equipment. So I'm going to tri-fold them, because this is work I've got to do. I'm going to put it in my envelope. Don't seal it because you're going to be pulling it in and out. And I'm going to fold up that excess. And there is my cell book. So this has most of the information that I'm going to be using, the notes that I'm going to need for the different organelles, the vocabulary words I'm going to be tested on, the scientists I'm going to be tested on, cell theory that I'm going to be tested on, parts of the microscope that I'll be tested on, and the various laboratory equipment that I'm going to be using throughout the year. And put this back in, make sure that my fold is where my other fold is, otherwise I'm going to be having problems. But then I can also use this and put like paper clip my notes to it, so that all of this stuff is in one place. Then you're going to take the sheet protector that I'll give you once you've put your book together. Slip it into your sheet protector. Watch out, make sure you don't kind of glue those down. And then it fits in your binder. Alright.